Hey guys, this is Boogie Panda, and today Breaking Down is going to make a return. And in this episode, we're going to look at Nerf Dew, a rank 9 plus 12 the weapon, plus 10 rank 9 armors, not recast, just the normal rank 9. Immaculate sharded armors on Harshlands. If you want to check his gear out, it's down in the description as usual, and also his channel is down in the description as well. So we're going to look at him on presumably defense. It looks like starting off with quite a bit of trouble because he gets purged straight away, and the forces on both lanes looks about equal, if not slightly stronger on the other side. So they're going to fight downhill, which is a problem for Wizards, because they lack the range of the many archers that the opposition have. And that AD is I don't know. I mean, I probably could have just distant shrinked away, but maybe it's safer to AD in that instance. I prefer to only AD in the last minute, but that sometimes gets me killed, so I can't really say much. I notice you don't really spam your defense charms. I think any rank 9 anyone who's decently geared should spam uh, defense charms because that greatly improves your survival rates. I know you haven't got Jades, you haven't got others, the things that would increase your survivability, and defense charms is a great way to actually do that. I see you have the physical defense charm on your hotkey bar, um, next to Mortal Reversion and Herb Yuanxiao, but you haven't got magical defense charm. I just saw, like, was it a gush that hit you for 9k or something? So it's probably advisable that you should use magical defense charms when your physical defense charm is off cooldown as well. Obviously, defense charm is probably a main priority, so you should be spamming that. But at the moment, it's on your hotkey and it's not really being used, and you might as well take it off your hotkey if it's like that. This is quite old footage, I must say, so since the auto pot feature, it might have gotten a lot better because you can just not click it and automatically do it. And I don't know about that use of suture on a cleric. I know it's very hard to take down the opposition without when the cleric's alive, but you got two archers standing right beside you and a seeker. They could have taken down the cleric a lot better than you would have with the suture combo and without spark. I mean, fair enough, if you had genie spark, it's very easy to take down enemy AAs as well. But I feel if you're gonna with the magic slash vitality genie for TW users, which I'm not going to complain about, then you should be focusing on gaining chi, surviving, and dropping AoEs, and not really using that chi on one target, such as the cleric. I mean, fair enough on a barb, because that's your job as a wizard, but I don't feel you should be using suture on a wizard. However, that said, your survivability at the moment looks quite good. I know the footage is cut quite a bit, but you're standing at the back, you're not taking too much damage, and the times you are taking damage, you can just AD out and distance shrink away. Except from, like, in the first instance we saw, you got lagged presumably, and then you got Iron Guard stunned yourself, and then the enemy, about a squad of them, ganked you, and there's not much you can do about that. Here, I guess you're in the enemy's base, and I don't know what this is about. You used Iron Guard when your charm has not ticked. Are you trying to drop an AoE or something? I mean, I honestly can't tell. I presumably you stunned while you're Iron Guard because you lagged, which is another suggestion that you should probably switch to Pango's Essence, the pot you get from faction base. It's like a Sutra power orb, but increases the duration to 9 seconds instead of the 6. So it's a compromise between the duration of Iron Guard and Sutra Power Orb. Um, I think if you're going to lag a lot like this, because the two instances where I saw you use Iron Guard, you self-stunned yourself, and of course you haven't got Badge of Courage to use on yourself to break out of the stun. So I think you should probably think about replacing Iron Guard with power, with Suture Orb, if that's possible. And there you got stunned, but you didn't uh, self barrier yourself. I'm gonna put that down to lag, but I'm not sure. Obviously, I can't tell how bad you're lagging and how much you're just derping. Excuse the phrase, but yeah. Um, Here, that's a good job killing that Catabarb almost by yourself. That Blast Ice Dragon Strike nearly killed him before he invoked, and that's a good job. This would have been a lot more effective with Spark because you went Sutra Fire combo. Maybe, if you're thinking about um, if you're on the defensive team or your job assigned to you by your TW leaders is to kill those Catabarbs or BMs, then maybe you would find it helpful to get Genie Spark even on a very low Dexterity Genie, because that debuff really helps in my opinion. I mean, the number of times I've killed rank 9 Barbs on my not even rank 9 Wizard is just, I mean, the times without Genie Spark I would not have done it. So it really does make your job defending a lot easier. Um, Here we see you. I can't really tell. I'm disorientated. I think rushing back to, or yeah, you're rushing back to defend your base against these enemies, and he's invoked. But I guess there's no one else around. I don't get why the Barb just solo rushed into here without support, because as soon as his invoke wears off, he is going to die. I was going to suggest, well, he's invoked DD on someone else or chi drain him, but obviously you're Sage and you don't have the option to chi drain. Here again, we see you targeting Calibarbs, and of course, there's the stupid cleric leaving you. A pretty good job by the cleric, if not very annoying. Alright, I skipped the footage to the part after the sleep, and here we go again on a Catabarb, which seems to be your job, and I must commend you on that for sticking to what you're being told and what your class is good at, killing Catabarbs. But I mean, if you're going to do this a lot, then I strongly suggest a Spark Genie to debuff the enemy. Although your place, I mean, I guess the Magic Fit Genie does suit TW a lot more, but in this specific role, this very defensive role, I think it might be worth looking into either getting a Spark Genie or a Hybrid Genie to make your job a lot easier. Like the last clip we saw, you did a 12k crit on him and you have something like 20% crit, but with Spark you needn't have critted and you still would have killed him. So that's, I think it's something worth having if that's your job and you do that a lot in TW. Again, the Sutra use on a cleric. You have an archer, I think that's your archer standing to your left, who should be killing the cleric while you should be focusing on their archer or their barb should they have one. So maybe he's not in your squad, I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely not in your squad. But I feel maybe your faction can work together a bit more so you don't have to waste your chi on the clerics, even though you do have excess chi most of the time. You're resorting to using Frenzy on the barbs, which is not as effective as Spark. I know I come back to this a lot, but Frenzy reduces your defense as well, so if you get attacked while you're frenzying, then you're basically dead. So all in all, I think you did a great job on sticking to your role. I would recommend switching to Penguin's Essence instead of iron guards because you seem to self-stun yourself a lot due to lag or just forgetting to fortify whatever, and maybe looking into getting a Spark Genie because you do play the Killing Calabar role. And I don't see many wizards doing that, and I must commend you on that. But I think Spark would make your job a lot easier. That's it for this episode, guys. If you have any footage you'd like me to commentate on, please submit them below as a video response or send a link to my YouTube inbox. I've done 3 episodes of Wizards Breaking Downs in a row now, so it would be very nice if people could send me footages of different classes.